Here's something really interesting. This is sort of related to the Marjorie Taylor Greene Twitter and Facebook ban. About, what was it, like a month ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. I played a video clip for you of Republican Congressman Dan Crenshaw, who is a Trump guy. There's no doubt about it. Dan Crenshaw is a Trump guy, criticizing the so-called Freedom Caucus of the House of Representatives, which is a very Trumpy caucus, saying these people are performance artists and they are not at the end of the day really the people that voted in support of what Donald Trump wanted. This conflict between Crenshaw and people like Marjorie Taylor Greene is now like two trains barreling towards each other, because after this ban stunt from Marjorie Taylor Greene, and by stunt, I mean how she reacted to it, Dan Crenshaw has much more directly attacked her, and Marjorie Taylor Greene has now turned on him. So let me kind of explain it all to you. In the immediate, hold on, let me get this all looking correct here. In the immediate aftermath of her being banned, Dan Crenshaw posted that Marjorie scoffed at the notion of supporting anti-censorship legislation is indicative of her true intent to remain a victim. She doesn't want solutions, and she doesn't care if you get censored. She just wants to be a victim so she can keep asking you for campaign donations. It's a scam. Dan Crenshaw is 110% correct here. He's 110% correct. Now understand that what he was advocating for was seriously heavy regulation of platforms like Twitter and Facebook. So he is a hypocrite in the sense that he is part of the party that says we should do as little regulation of business as possible. Regulating businesses is socialism. He's talked on the Joe Rogan show about his belief about what socialism is, and it's a very, very wrong belief. So he was ignoring his supposedly sincerely held beliefs about a light government regulatory touch, saying, let's regulate these companies. But he is correctly pointing out that Marjorie Taylor Greene had the opportunity to support anti-censorship, as they call it, legislation, and that what she is doing is a scam to raise campaign contributions. He's completely right. He also posted, I think this is on his Instagram, hey, by the way, Marjorie, isn't this you? This was the moment you went for a few drinks instead of voting on the NDAA. Before bringing up missed votes, you might want to check your own record. This is after Marjorie Taylor Greene said to Dan Crenshaw, hey, you've missed votes as well. This is a picture of Marjorie Taylor Greene sitting at a bar when apparently voting was taking place on NDAA. The substance of this matters less than the fact that two pro-Trump Republicans, that's what they are fighting with each other. Crenshaw went on to say, hey, Marjorie, if suggesting we should follow Trump policy instead of Biden mandates makes you mad, then you might be a Democrat or just an idiot. So very big attacks, Trump on Trump violence. Crenshaw then posted, guess some people woke up today and tried to compete for biggest idiot on the internet. Then going on to say, seeing a lot of manufactured outrage by some people lately. They're worried they're losing their grip on your attention because they are. They lash out in the hopes you'll pay attention to them. Kind of sad, really. Dan Crenshaw is totally right here about what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing. These are what I call ASBs, attention-seeking behaviors. And Crenshaw went on to say, and Marjorie, instead of playing the victim about censorship, maybe use your position as a legislator to help pass legislation against censorship. Luckily, I've already done all the hard work for you and drafted a bill that would change Section 230 to prohibit political censorship. Want to co-sponsor before I introduce it? Or do you prefer to keep up with petty and childish attacks? Your call. Marjorie Taylor Greene completely then losing it on Dan Crenshaw, saying Dan Crenshaw is posting creepy stalking pictures of me, referring to the picture from the bar, and harassing me to co-sponsor his big tech bill that he says stops censorship, but his bill actually gives more protection to online porn companies. Very, very weird thing to post. And then lastly, she wrote, no thanks, Dan. We need to get rid of porn. I am busy reading other Republicans stop big tech censorship bills. Gosh, and to think all of this started when I just disagreed with him when he said FEMA should be doing mass COVID testing and working in hospitals. All I said is, no, we don't want FEMA doing any of that. and hospitals need to hire back unvaccinated healthcare workers, then poof, I'm kicked off Twitter. Did I offend Dan's globalist friends at the World Economic Forum? This is really great. I have to tell you guys. I wish that the left was more competently preparing for 2022 and 2024. I think the left may be heading for a disaster, but Trumpists fighting with Trumpists is a really, really good thing. And just to remind everybody, here's that original clip where Dan Crenshaw seemed to start expressing some disdain for the grifters like Marjorie Taylor Greene and others without naming them directly. Remember this?
Supporting these two. There's actually other veterans in Morgan's race. There's other front runners. But why support these two? Well, because I've been in Congress for almost 3 years now. There's two types of members in Congress.
Right.
There's performance artists and there's legislators. Now, the performance artists are the ones that get all the attention. They're the ones you think are more conservative because they know how to say slogans real well. They know how to recite the lines that they know that our voters want to hear. Let me tell you guys something. In the first 2 years of Trump's presidency, when Republicans were in control, when every single time we were voting on Donald Trump's agenda, who do you think was at the top of that list voting with Trump, and who do you think was at the bottom?
Yep.
A lot of names you would recognize are at the bottom of that list. A lot of names you would recognize are at the top of that list. Number two is it's probably going to make you cringe a little bit. It's Adam Kinzinger. Voted with Trump almost 99%. He was number two.
So the important thing, the important takeaway here is that these are all Trumpists in some sense. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a Trumpist in the way that she has completely abandoned even talking about policy, spreads lies, disinformation. It's kind of like the cartoonish, weaponized Trumpist. But what Dan Crenshaw reminds us is that a lot of the people that we on the left might say, they're not that bad. Liz Cheney, wow, she said Biden really won. That's really great. Adam Kinzinger, hey, he was willing to vote to convict Trump on impeachment. He was willing to support impeachment of Donald Trump. He's a member of the House, not the Senate. And we say, wow, these people are kind of more reasonable. They vote with Trump all the time. And so they are not our political allies. Dan Crenshaw is absolutely right. Let's hope that this Trump on Trump civil war continues because the left needs something to help us along this year. One of our sponsors is Splendid Spoon. Now, if you're like me, I love planning my meals out for the week, but sometimes I just run out of time to plan them for every single day. And Splendid Spoon makes that whole process a lot easier. They deliver fresh, delicious, plant-based meals right to your door, ready to eat. No cooking, no cleaning dishes, saves you a lot of time. You can choose from over 50 hot and cold meal options. There's smoothies, grain and noodle bowls, soups. I'm a big soup guy. Many of you know that. I also really liked the vegan meatballs with marinara noodles. Delicious. Both I and Splendid Spoon believe eating more plant-based is a great tool for feeling good, for helping the environment. The list goes on. I'm not vegan. You all know that, I think. But Splendid Spoon is really great to just help me maximize the proportion of plants in my diet. Splendid Spoon takes all of the work out of tasty, healthy, plant-based meals. And you'll save $35 when you go to splendidspoon.com/Pacman. The link is down below.